of the most commonly asked questions I receive in my DMs or in comments is, do I need a portfolio to apply to and get an instructional design role? My short answer is yes, and in this video, I'm gonna share 3 reasons why I think you need a portfolio, but also ways to do it that are not super intimidating. You can kind of get it off the ground really quickly, and it won't take you too much time to kind of build your first portfolio. So if that sounds good to you, keep watching. So the first reason why I think it's important to have a portfolio is because it shows recruiters, hiring managers, and people that are, interviewing you that you are willing to kind of go the extra mile and take time to create a portfolio. And if you're a recruiter or a hiring manager who's looking through, say, 50 applications, I want to say maybe 20% of the time, I see someone link their portfolio in the header of their resume, and I'm always gonna click that portfolio link because I am always so curious to see what people did to build and create a portfolio. It just kind of sets them apart. Not to say that if you don't have a portfolio, I'm gonna ignore your resume, but I do think it's a nice thing to, have at the top of your resume, like a link to your portfolio. Now at this point, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, Sam, I do not have time to build a portfolio. And to that I say, you probably do, because I don't think that you need a super complex portfolio. It could just be a 1-page Google site that you build for free. You can build a 1-page Canva website for free. You can build a 1-page Notion website for free, and just link out a few projects that maybe you've worked on in the past, maybe a blog post and a job aid, maybe like a short video that you've worked on. Just something to kind of show that you're willing to take the time to kind of like organize and consolidate everything. It doesn't have to be perfect. It could have like 3 things, and that will still help you stand out from the folks that like don't have anything. I have a few videos on how to create a super simple free portfolio on Google Sites. I'll link it down below. And I also have a video on 6 portfolio project ideas that will probably not take you super long to build, and I'll link that video down as well in case you're interested. So the second reason why I think it's super important to have a portfolio is because it allows recruiters, hiring managers, anyone who's like looking at your resume to get a better sense of your work. When you're just looking at a resume, you can see all their accomplishments, but as someone who reviews instructional design resumes, the most important thing I want to actually see is their writing abilities, their, maybe video editing, or their just generally like what skills they have. And it's easier for me to get a better understanding of that if I can see some samples in a portfolio. But like I said, that's not to say you have to have 50 courses and like 10 job aids and like 100 blog posts. If you can have like 1 to 3 work samples, very short work samples, doesn't have to be super complex, then that's gonna give me more information about, why I should hire you. And again, if I'm like on the fence between 2 people and one of them has a portfolio with work samples, and I can feel more confident that I'm aware of their ability and their capabilities versus like someone who I'm hoping that like maybe they'll perform well if I give them a take-home assignment. It just kind of gives the person who has a portfolio and the samples just a little bit of additional materials to kind of help sell themselves as like a potential hire. And the third reason why I think it's super important to have a portfolio, especially as like a new instructional designer, is because it's going to force you to actually practice some of the instructional design skills that you need. For example, if you don't have video editing skills, then adding a video to your portfolio is going to force you to, learn how to edit videos, learn a video editing software, build like a 2 to 3 minute video that you can put in your portfolio. If you're not really super familiar with like technical writing and you've come maybe from a different background, but the role you're applying for requires more technical writing, then having a blog post in your portfolio is going to force you to actually practice technical writing and like editing it, editing the blog post to make sure that it's like nice and crisp. And so it kind of just holds you accountable to actually practicing some of these instructional design skills so that you can then put them in your portfolio. Because I know a lot of people like to take a lot of classes and they like to take a lot of courses and read a lot of books, and that's totally fine. But if you don't have any like tangible experience, which you can get for free on YouTube University, you can look up how to edit a short video on any video editing software. You can look up how to improve your writing, make it more technical on YouTube. You can learn a bunch of stuff on YouTube. So it's really that application part where you're taking everything you've been learning and turning it into something tangible, which you can then put into your portfolio, and makes it, actually a really good reason to have a portfolio to begin with. So those are 3 reasons why I think it's important to have a portfolio if you're applying to an instructional design role. Like I said, don't let creating a portfolio intimidate you. It can just be one single page that has a few projects on it. But again, I do have some videos that you can follow. They're like less than 15 minutes. And if you follow them, you will have a portfolio by the end of it. And if you have questions about what to include in your portfolio, how to structure it, or any questions about portfolios in general, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. I will respond to them. But yeah, so that's the end of this video. If you found it useful, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.